Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Wednesday morning to you all. I hope you're all okay. Hope you're all right. I hope the day is treating you all as well as it possibly can treat, and the week treat you even better. In this video, we're talking about, I guess you could call it maybe some of the fallout of the transfer market. You know, we'll be talking about Jamie Gittens, Samuel Chukwueze. We're going to be talking about Marc Guehi and I guess his sort of entourage and camp surprise at the formal bids. I'm going to talk about quite a few different things actually as well. Do have an update on some Liverpool injuries as well. So there's plenty to talk about actually today, which I'm quite excited about. I was wondering today, I was like, I wonder if there's going to be anything to talk about. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. So morning, Sonia. How are you? Adiz, Jake, Marshall, Spurs, Louis, Steve, El Dante. How are we all? I hope we're okay. Ari, no. Bazza. The legends are all in. Here they come. Here they come. Gibbo falling in. Ange's presser is at 1:30. Yeah, about 2.5 hours away now. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to that because I think we're going to get some resolution in regards to injuries. I think that's what we're all just sort of waiting really to hear about Mickey Van der Ven. And if there is going to be any other injury returns, we might have one or two. But if I'm honest, I don't think so. I think you'll probably find there'll be some more injuries coming back for Villa at the weekend, and then obviously Man United the following week. Man United the following week, we should get multiple players back fit and healthy, which is deserved and warranted and needed. But yeah, we'll see about Ange's presser. I'm looking forward to it. Look, let's jump in. Let's talk about the fallout of the transfer market, because the Athletic have said that Spurs had identified Jamie Gittens and Samuel Chukwueze as targets in the January transfer window, but neither move materialized. I can probably tell you why they didn't materialize. Jamie Gittens is going to cost a crazy amount of money. I mean, when a website sort of values him at a certain value, that's like the best case scenario if the other club were in financial issues and needed to sell. So really, transfer market had him valued at 50 million euros. He's probably going to cost closer to double that than he is 50 million euros, in my opinion. I mean, by the end of the season, he's probably going to cost a crazy amount of money. I mean, when you look at this season, I know Dortmund have had a bit of a weird season in how they've performed. But in the Bundesliga, he's played 20 times. He's scored 7, 4 assists. I mean, he's got 11 goal contributions in 20 games, which is pretty good from a winger. I can't lie. I mean, in the Champions League, 8 games played, 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 goal contributions in 8 games in the Champions League. I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's too bad whatsoever. So look, he's having a really, really good season. His value's only increased massively over time. I mean, when we look at the start of basically this season to now, he's actually gone up about 20 million in value. So he's going up quite a bit every single week and every single month. So by the time the summer comes, he's going to be about 70, 80 million pounds. And Spurs aren't spending that. Spurs, I don't think, truly wanted to spend any real money this window. I mean, Spurs spent 12.5 million in January. Okay, yeah, you got to factor in 10 million for Tell. So we'll call it 22.5 million they spent this January. They spent more last January on just one player alone, because Danso is going to be counted towards the summer window. And they'll use that against you. Don't forget, they will use that against you, the higher ups, to say, but Danso was a move for this window. And it's like, yeah, you could have actually just bought him in January and, you know, have no financial fair play issues, I guess. But, you know, vibes. Scott, how are you? Martin, Flat Cat Pete, Dragon, Ed. So look, it was never going to happen. On Chukwueze, he is a guy that gets some decent minutes at Milan. I quite like him. Obviously, he was at Villarreal before moving to Milan. I quite like his style of play, quite direct. Obviously, a winger. Plays a lot on the right, if I'm honest, as well. So a player that would have suited us. Obviously, Gittens is more of a left winger. So he would have suited us in terms of that. But again, with Milan, I think they're looking at, you know, moving Okafor and not Chukwueze, hence why they weren't going to move both players unless they got a crazy offer, which Spurs were never going to give them that crazy offer. Simple as that, right? I don't think it's shocking. I don't think it's surprising. But, you know, that's what it is. I mean, look, both players, would they improve us? Absolutely. Was it ever going to happen? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. By the way, one thing about the Matisse Tell situation, apparently, this has come out from the Athletic, no, from Richard Romano saying that Spurs were Spurs and Bayern Munich were in contact over the buy option whilst the player was doing his medical. So this really was the last thing to get ticked off the list. I mean, everything got done barring the buy option. So I find that quite fascinating. Spurs are really adamant about it, which I like. It's a buy option. Obviously, I know Matisse Tell has the ability to say yes or no to it. You know, obviously, it is what it is by that point. But again, like I always said, if a guy enjoys his time at a club and he feels loved and appreciated and has a bit of success, he's way more likely to stay because he's like, this is great. I want to continue this. If we, let's say, lose on Thursday or tomorrow evening and we go out of the EFL Cup, we lose against Villa at the weekend, and you know, maybe we go out in the semi-finals of the Europa League and finish 10th in the Premier League, is he going to want to stay? Let's be real, he's not going to want to stay, is he? He's got Bayern Munich to go back to, you know, club that's going to win. You would think at least a trophy every single year. I know last year being the one anomaly in that. So yeah, yeah, you got to be in it to win it, as they say. You've got to be in it to win it. Lang needs to go. Yeah, I need to watch his post transfer window commentary. I'm fascinated with what he said. I haven't looked. I haven't listened to it. I'm going to listen to it in a bit. Listen to it in a bit. I haven't talked about the slot yet, mate. I'm coming to it, Adiz. Hasn't a 6-year contract been agreed if the option is exercised? So that was Jesse's likely to stay if we say yes. He still has a say in it as well. He can say no. And 6 months is a long time in football, you know? I think it's more likely that Bayern would have a buyback price and set into the deal. Well, let's just see about that. So there's that on Gittens and Chukwueze. Marc Guehi, though, let's talk about this. This is again from The Athletic, who Marc Guehi and his entourage were surprised by Tottenham's late bid in the January transfer window and were unaware it was coming. The centre-back now has 18 months left of his contract. Obviously, when we come to the next window, he will have obviously only a year left on his deal. So reality is he's probably moving on next summer from Palace. You know, let's talk about Liverpool being interested because of Van Dijk's age. I think Chelsea will be interested. Spurs will be interested. It wouldn't shock me if Manchester United were interested. I don't think Arsenal would be. City wouldn't be. City have got like 8,000 centre backs. So, yeah, I think you're going to find a lot of the big boys are all sniffing around Marc Guehi. So, I don't see it personally, but, you know, can Danso and Tell play against Liverpool? We'll talk about that in a minute. Was hilarious watching the United fans cope. Yeah, they're down bad. There's some real bangers. There's so many supporters desperate to see Romero sold, it seems. Yeah, I don't really get it. I think people tell me that I overhype Romero and they say he's a good defender. It's like, well, he's our best defender. So that's kind of an issue. If you say he's only good, then Jesus Christ. And then people go, but he's not world class. And I go, all right, well, how many world class defenders are there? I was like, you might have one at Real Madrid and Rudiger. There's none at Barcelona. There's none at Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid's best defender might be Clement Longley. In the Serie A, you might have said Gleison Bremer's quite a good defender, but he's out injured all season. I don't think anyone else in Serie A is as good as Gleison Bremer. In Liga 1, no thank you. Bundesliga, I think Upamecano's been pretty decent, but I think Kim Min-jae's good, but I don't think Kim Min-jae's better than Romero whatsoever. I was like, how many are there? You got Van Dijk, yeah. I'd give you maybe one of the Arsenal boys, maybe both, depending on the form at the moment. Bastoni, yeah, good shout. Sorry, Bastoni, I forgot about him. So you look at it, and there's maybe 4 in the world. Yeah, because I don't value Man City's defenders as world class. I think they're all good, very good. I don't think they're world class. So, you know. Also, apparently, Conte's really upset about the transfer window, by the way. And I was like, oh, here comes the implosion. It's brewing. I love it. I love it. But yeah, and also there's people that are like, oh, by the way, Romero doesn't care about Spurs, doesn't want to be here. And it's like, he only cares about Argentina. And if you still think that, I don't think you're ever going to change your opinion on him. I mean, there's literal examples this season alone, him playing through an injury for Spurs. But I guess that doesn't fit an agenda about, oh, he doesn't want to play here. It's like, that's why I give up with those arguments, because you can't be asked. It's like talking to a brick wall. You know, people have their agendas, they have their views, and they don't want to change it. And that's fine. That's fine. You're more than welcome to. I've got evidence. You're living off something that he played under a manager that he hated in Antonio Conte. Whilst he's playing for a manager that he likes, he plays through injuries. So, hey ho ho hum. Anyway, moving on. On the Guehi situation, people saying that it could be a Romero replacement. It could be. I'm not going to deny that it might not be. I like to try and live in the world that maybe it's not, and try and be optimistic about it, and saying that you could add Marc Guehi to your defensive room, because he's not going for 70 million next summer. Not at all. He'll go for 40 to 50 maximum. If he's worth more, if Palace worth value more than 50, I don't even think Chelsea will play that, because Chelsea have changed the way they do things now. Their wage budgets come right down. They're not getting 50 next summer, in my opinion. So that's my views on it. I like Mark. I said when we talked about him on a live, I said I think he's a really good defender. He's good on the ball. With obviously under Glasner, he'd sort of developed the more technical side of things. He plays as a left centre back with a right footer, and he played for England in an international tournament, and he might have been our best player. So I really do like him. I do really like him. I just think let's just hold up on seeing him sort of next summer, because I think he does move next summer, because I don't think he's signing a new deal. Aussie, how are you? Random YouTube commenter, Steampunk, Joshua, how are we all? Sorry if I've missed you and you've commented. Hello to you as well, by the way. So look, there's that on Marc Guehi. I want to talk about some comments from Jed Spence and a little bit more surrounding the Ange interaction with Matisse Tell. So Jed Spence gave some comments, and he was talking about the recent form. He says it's been difficult, but we fight for the manager, we fight for the club, and we all believe in what he wants to do. We just got to keep the fight. We got to keep momentum. Players have down tools for Ange. I can't stress enough, they have not down tools on Ange. The players all like Ange. You've got Kulusevski in front of media going, I want to play for this man. I love the football that he makes us play. I want him to have success as well as us. You've got Jed Spence going, I love playing for this manager. I want to work for this manager. You've got Ange basically persuading people, hey, don't join Barca and don't join Bayern Munich. Come here. I can develop you. You're going to be great here. And you've got a lot of players going, I will come to Spurs. I mean, hell, we're 14th in the league. You've got Bayern Munich's best youngster going, I'll come to you. Yeah, not a problem. Picking us over. I mean, there's reports that he picked us over Chelsea. Chelsea came in right at the end when he was at the airport to come to London, trying to do another Willian, basically. And he said, no, I'm going to Spurs. Yeah, rejecting Man United and Arsenal and all those things. You've got Radu Dragic. I'm rejecting Bayern Munich. I'm coming to Spurs. You got Bergvall rejecting Barcelona. I'm coming to Spurs. A lot of those are down to Ange and Ange talking to these guys. Because I'm going to talk about that Matisse Tell deal in just a second. But, a lot of these players are all playing for the manager. When people go, I think they're downing tools. I think there's a difference between downing tools and just being absolutely shattered because you're playing 3 times a week and you can't rotate. Which hopefully in a couple of weeks' time, we can start to rotate a bit better. I wouldn't expect massive rotation just yet with players coming back from injury just now, but maybe in about 3 weeks' time, you start to see a little bit more rotation when players are a little bit fitter, match fitness-wise. Getting Sonny a week off, getting Kulu a week off, Porro. Archie Gray, it'd be nice to get Archie Gray a week off. As much as I love seeing Archie Gray, I'd love to see him when he's like 10% fresher. Bergvall, those guys. I mean, Richie, even with Richie, it'd be nice to see Richie get, a week off because, the guy is a bit injury prone and he's played a lot of minutes recently. Ben Davies, it's all these players that I want them to get just that little bit more rest because I think you're going to get that little bit more out of them. They'll be able to play a full 90 and run themselves into the ground, So There you go. The record we have on Romero is undeniable. Absolutely. We're nearly a point better off when he plays with Mickey. That's massive. Gray has been phenomenal, 100%. What about Branthwaite? What about him? Matt as well. Hey, Polly, how are you? Hope everything's okay. Anyone know what time? It's 1:30 UK time. But yeah, look, as Steve says, they need an Xbox day. I've got more of a play. I'm more of a PlayStation guy, so they should probably get a PlayStation 5, not an Xbox. It's rubbish. There's my endorsement and future business deals with Xbox down the drain, isn't it? But look, in all seriousness, like these players are playing for Ange and they're trying to give as much as they physically can. And I totally get where there's games where your legs just aren't where they need to be because that's what happens when it comes to football. There's days I used to play Sunday league, Saturday league, and there's days where I'm like, oh, I'm feeling light on my feet and I'm feeling good. And there's some days where I feel like I'm running through treacle, and it's sometimes there's no answer to it. Right, last bit with Matisse Tell. Well, I'll get my PS1 out. Retro. Love that. Love that. What was it? I was thinking, what was it? Spyro Dragonfly. That was the one I used to love on PS1. That and SmackDown 2. There we go. Wash your mouth out, fair enough. there's a yeet in here. Summer should already be being planned by Lang, Levy. Well, Paratici might as well be on it. Might as well be on it. He's back in July. That's what you want to see. They play for the manager, club, and fans. Jack X on PS2. Solid. Joshua. Solid. Simpsons hit and run PS2. That was the one, wasn't it? Look, let's talk about this deal from Matisse Tell because obviously Lango's apparently time crisis. Now that's a shout. You've got to have the gun for it though. That was the key thing. But no, on the Matisse Tell situation, says Lang goes over there to present the what they see, the project and things like that, and he calls up Daniel and goes, Daniel, I think I've mucked this up. I don't think it's hit the way it wanted to hit. So then Daniel goes, all right, I'll come over there. And then by that point, Tell's like, lads, that was crap. I'm going to be honest, that was crap. No, I'm not interested. Not interested. And they go back to Ange and go, yeah, we didn't really hit the presentation the way we wanted to. It's like when you say to your manager, like, look, I presented that. I don't think it went down the way you wanted to. And the manager goes, leave it with me. I'll see what I can do. Ange went, leave it with me. Let me see what I can do. Don't get me wrong. I'm still having to prepare for Brentford at the weekend, but I'll see if I can sort something here as well. Okay. Off you go. Johan Lang and Daniel Levy walking out of his room, like head down, calls him up. Matisse, don't listen to those two idiots. They haven't got a Scooby what's going on. And then Ange presents the project on the field. Whereas I think they were presenting what we see in 4 years' time. Ange's like, what I see from you next week. If you play for me, this is what I see from you this week, next week. And Matisse was like, good, all right, we're talking about football. I like football. I want to talk about me as a footballer, not the club in 3 or 4 years. And Ange going, I see you as an explosive forward, a versatile forward, a guy that can use his pace, directness. And these are the things that have come out against oppositions. He told him how much he loves his speed and versatility while stating he would terrify Premier League defenses with his quality. The conversation with Ange was solely about matters on the pitch, unlike his talks with Johan Lang and Daniel Levy, who tried to sell him the Spurs project. Useless is all I'm going to say about that. Time cry. Yep. So, the game tomorrow, 8 p.m. is on ITV if you're in England. So there you go. Ange has never lost a team. He never lets them down as a coach. Absolutely sticks. Going to come to the two lads that have just signed in a minute. Ange literally told Tell, hello, mate. You want to excel like Gray and Berval, mate? Come along down to the Hotspur Didgeridoo, sorry. I hope we get confirmation of an event. Yeah, well, they'll be talking about injuries today. Did Levy offer him tickets to watch Beyonce? No, you can have one free skywalk. If you want any more, you have to pay for it. Let me Aussie it properly. give give that bloody phone, mate. Look, it's football party. Right, listen here, mate. Not mucking around anymore. You're bloody joining. I'll see you tomorrow. Matisse was like, I have no idea what he just said, but yeah, all right. Well, let's see it, Dees. But look, no, on Matisse, I think that's the real big difference. Ange is about the here and now, and I'm going to play you now. I'm going to use you now. You're going to play minutes now. We'll worry about what 4 years looks like in 4 years' time. We're obviously going to be planning for it, but we're worried about the now. You sign now. I'm not thinking about what you're going to look like in 4 years' time. I'm worried about what you're going to look like against Liverpool and Villa and Man United in the next 2 weeks. He's like, you're going to be massive for us. We're playing in 4 competitions. We play twice a week, every week, sometimes 3 times a week. You're going to play a lot of football. And he probably went, I'm playing a lot of football. Fantastic. That's what I want. That's how I'm going to develop as a player. I'm still a young player. And if I can play quite regular minutes, then that's what I want. Under a stable sort of system and stable manager with, he puts his arm around you. He'll dig you out when he needs to, but he puts his arm around you and he'll protect you from media and he'll protect you from things like that. So love it. It's just so many reasons why you might be Ange out. And I'm not going to say you're wrong for saying you're Ange out. And I'm not going to do that. And you like who you like as a manager. You like if he was to be replaced, what that manager might look like. You can't deny players buying into him. You can't deny him getting players to join us over other clubs because higher-ups have done their job poorly. You can't deny the vibes around Ange in 14th were better than Conte in 4th. And that says a lot. Conte acting like he was doing us a favour. Ange going, I really want to be here. I like this club and I really want to be here and I really want to deliver success. Whereas Conte was like, you'd be lucky if we even get top 5, mate. All right, shut up. So regardless, I'm here. And also, if you do win something this year with Ange, it's going to hit so differently. I can promise you that. It's going to hit you like a prime Mike Tyson uppercut. It's just going to be like, whoa, that was mental. It's going to hit you like that, all right? We signed an Irish striker. He's coming next year, though, isn't he? When will Odegaard be back? Odegaard will be back this month, supposedly. They said middle of February. I would say give it to like the end of Feb. Just let him ease back in. Obviously, because he got injured through an explosive movement, I'd like to ease him back in due to him being quite an explosive player. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing Odegaard back, by the way. What's going to happen to Kinski, Vic, Austin, Spence? We'll have to see. I think they have to make a decision this week on it. I was reading the tea leaves and I was reading into it. I think they've got like a couple of days to make a decision to sort of put forward their next European squad. You'd expect Forster dropping out. There's a thumbs up. You're welcome. Dragisin will drop out. We know that. Danso go in there, obviously. And will they put Kinski in the squad? I feel like when you've got Vic and you've had Austin, you kind of look at Austin and go, I've got faith that he's a decent keeper. That's enough for now. I wouldn't put Kinski in. I'll be saying to Kinski, look, mate, next season, absolutely, we'll have you in the European squad. But right now, we need that space for, Spence, or we need that space for Tell. We're going to use you in the Prem, though. So you're still going to play. And that's the way I would go about it personally. You still got Vic in there. You still got Brandon Austin. Solid. Very solid. You could say to Kinski, like for example, with Kinski, let's say one of these 2 domestic cup competitions you go through into the next round, be it Thursday or Sunday, right? One of them. You said to Kinski, that's your competition, mate. That's your competition. Vic's not playing there. Want to get you some Prem football as well. I mean, you might even ease Vic in, with a European game and things like that. You know what I mean? I just don't feel like you need both those keepers in. I know it's security and it feels nice. And ironically, you did need Forster in the end, and dropping Spence, even though it felt a bit weird, it wasn't as bad a decision that everyone thought it was at the first part. I think looking at with the 3 guys that you've got in this window, I would look at Kinski as a domestic signing, and I would move Spence into being a European signing alongside obviously the Tell and the Dansos. Personally, that's just my thoughts, at least. Um, yeah. Problem is, I mean, Kinski reckons. Sorry, Eddie's reckons Kinski has to be in the Europe squad with Vic or Austin. You know, you can only move 3 changes in the squad, by the way, so you can't make wholesale changes. But let's see. Let's see. I think we got a long way. We got a few days before we need to care about it, and it'd be interesting to see if Ange sticks to his guns surrounding keepers being in the squad and things like that. Um, I don't know. Let's just pray and hope. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know if they have yet, and I don't know if they will. But I'm just going to say, let's pray and hope. There you go. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, don't need 3 keepers. Would you be comfortable playing Austin in the Europa League final? Well, Vicario would play in it, wouldn't he? Unless you're dropping Vicario for Austin, which is a mad one. But yeah. It just means 3 changes. That's all, Steve. But look, really fascinating. Obviously, Ange's presser is in a couple of hours' time. So in about a couple of hours' time, we should start to have information fed back in surrounding, what the hell is going to be happening, surrounding the injuries and who's going to be back and fit and, who's going to play on Thursday and Sunday. But join the Discord. So if you're not really caught up to date with all the information, the guys in the Discord drop a lot of information in there. Even when I'm not alert and around, they drop it in there so you can keep up to date, and we'll go from there. But look, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Go and enjoy the rest of your mornings, afternoons, evenings, wherever you're in the world. And I will speak to you all a little bit later on, if not tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Peace.